All right, everybody, I'd like to welcome you back. We Talk Weekly. You already know how it go down. It's your favorite fly guy here, Charles Gregory, but I'm here with a gentleman with whom I have a tremendous amount of respect for. And when I tell you that, I get excited as it relates to anybody who is in the genre of fashion, style, entertainment. And when this fantastic publicist reached out to me and said, you know what, We Talk Weekly is this guy I really need for you to, to interview on your show. And I said, sure, just let me know and we'll try to make some things happen. This is all real talk. I keep it a bean, right? So, send me some, so she sent me a series of emails and I had the opportunity to do some Google search. You know how we always do our Googling, right? So I had the opportunity to do some Googling and I looked you up. Mr. Savage, man, and we had the opportunity to talk a little bit, and you was telling me that this is kind of like a family brand, and it has been out, and you was just kind of giving me a background as to kind of like the Savage name and the duality of the meanings. So let's jump right into that,
Yo, so first and foremost, my name Malcom Savage. The brand it's a designer brand.
Right.
So it's a brand called Savage Series 8. To be a savage, you gotta be fierce, but in order to be fierce, you gotta have that courage. I feel as though everyone possessed that in them.
Right.
8 represents us, 8 of us in my family. 3 brothers, I'm the youngest brother. 3 sisters, my mother and my father, but also the 8 represents the infinity sign. So not only
on its side, yeah,
exactly,
absolutely.
So we embrace everybody around the world, keep pushing, have that courage.
That's dope. So you're the youngest of 8.
Actually, I'm the second youngest.
You're the second.
I got a baby sister.
Oh, you got a baby sister.
Yep.
Now, are all of them kind of in the fashion realm, or how does that work?
Yeah, because we get our fashion from our parents. So, like...
No doubt. That's funny, because you know how that get. Wow, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, let me put this on vibrating, man. They calling me. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you said your parents, so your parents got some fashion in them.
Yeah, they do. Especially my pop. He be always dapper down, tailor-made. Okay. But I'm more in like to streetwear, so I hit that aspect when I was younger. That's why I always used to spend my money on. Right. Looking fly. Right. So
there you go.
I went to college, and I always knew I wanted to work for myself. My pop, he groomed me to be like an entrepreneur when I was younger, to always work for myself, make my own money. Right. With that being said, it was like, as time went on, I said, you know what, I keep buying clothes. Why not invest in something to a brand towards I could wear it myself? Right. And then after that, it started December 23rd, 2016. That's the initiation for like me, my mom, my dad. We came up with the name. After that, brought Nafis on board, business partner / best friend for like 10 plus years. So he been rocking. He does more than just, promote. He directing, coordination, he fits in. Yeah. So if I'm on the West Coast and he on the East Coast, he able to handle Savage Series 8 if I'm away.
No doubt. I like the idea of the Savage Series 8. Now, 8 for your 8 siblings, including you, right?
6 siblings. Six. Mother and father and then 6 of us.
All right, your mother, father, and 6. Wow, there you go. That's funny. Actually, my clients, Kindred Family Soul, got 6 kids, right? And they had a show called 6 Is It. And so that's funny because 6 is it plus those 2, that makes 8. So shout out to them, right?
Shout out to them.
Yeah, no doubt. And so let's talk a little bit about the family, right? And 6 siblings, mom and dad, 8, right? Savage Series 8, right? And so that's dope. So let's talk a little bit about how fashionable, right? Because is your family. You talked to me earlier about your sister. She's really into fashion. You said your dad, drippity split, always to the T, right? Always, so let's talk a little bit about that, because I think it's an interesting story to see where you kind of came from to know where you are at this point,
Right. So like my pop, he was like, when he was younger, he was always getting tailor-made clothes from like Palm Mary to wearing like Pierre Cardin. So they was always wearing tailor-made clothing, suits, and it's different to whereas those more the streetwear now for our younger generation plays a little bit more into effect in today's world. Yeah, I agree. But back then, they was wearing turtlenecks, smocks. They was tailor every single day.
Right. They spend more money on their clothes. Tailor, right? And so it's interesting to see how fashion is changing, right? Now, you growing up and seeing, how fashion is kind of grooming you as it relates to your dad, because you have been seeing some of the things he wearing. What do you see as a big difference from then to now?
And to like what for what I've been wearing, or
both. What you wearing? How do you know the way fashion is changing? You know.
Yeah, definitely things got more fitted.
Right.
So I always like things fitted to me because it just looks, the appearance looks better.
Right.
Now back when I used to like boot cut jeans, or the shirts was a little baggy, I didn't really like that. Maybe because I was like fitting into like the fashion, like sense to what everybody else was wearing.
Right.
So that's where that came from. But my dad, he still stayed collared shirts, button up shirts.
Right.
He would wear jeans sometimes, but that's only to like go to work. But he'll still keep himself, like he'll still keep his fashionable like presence.
Right.
No matter what.
Yeah, no doubt. And so if you just joining, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Charles Gregory here with the Mr. Savage, and we're talking a little bit about style and fashion and the event that he's actually putting together this Saturday. But I'm kind of just walking y'all through his voyage and the reason why he is kind of in the fashion genre, right? And so we talked a little bit about that. We talked a little bit about family, right? And let's jump into you now, all right? And so you're in kind of like this scope of fashion and creating and putting events together. Now, do you tailor? Do you design? What do you do specifically?
Is so my role in that whole situation, I just do the designing.
Right.
So I do work with seamstress,
right,
and I work with a manufacturer. They help the whole process. It's all handmade. So that's my manufacturer is actually international.
Okay.
And with that being said, the whole process, when I'm not doing anything, or I got some like time on my hands, all I do is design.
Right.
So I create something that I feel as though I will wear, or I can see like other people go wear, or women or children.
Right.
I design and sketch it up, and just leave it, and then come back to it. Wait till we got a show. Feast come to me, yo, bro, when we gonna do a show? And then I can start getting the collection together, and we go from there. So I got like over 300 designs just in the tuck, just waiting.
Right. Now, is your collection going to be in your show Saturday?
Yes.
All right, that's dope. Okay. So before we go into that, you mentioned Nafis. Let's talk a little bit about him as it relates to some of the things that you're doing and the events that you're creating. Yeah.
Yeah. So Nafis, he definitely played a part. Actually, when I came to him about Savage Series 8, before he even knew about it, it was for our first show that happened June 25th in 2017. So I came to him about it. He liked the idea. We went from there. And my very first collection, that's when I worked with a seamstress. She sewn everything. So we went to the and she put me game on to different fabrics too. Okay. So she put me game on a lot of the fashionable scents, going to different fabric stores. Shout out to Avery too. Her name Avery.
Okay.
Shout out to her. She put me on different like different textures and like different. Yeah. So
textiles,
she was giving me game on different
stuff,
things. So after all that, when I got like the fabric I want and that would match my like whole collection, it was a 5-piece collection. Okay. All handmade. So when I got it together, I said, you know what? I could start going to New York myself, or I could start going to different fashion stores myself and start touching it, touching the fabric. And I started doing that. But, she opened that door and, gave me more knowledge on that.
Yeah, no doubt. And so that's so shout out to Avery. And one thing that I pride myself on is making sure it's a platform for not only people like yourself, but people who are kind of in these different industries. And me as a stylist, as a wardrobe stylist, we oftentimes are kind of behind the scenes, right? When we don't necessarily get the credit that, we should get. So when you mention people like Avery and Nafis and stuff, it makes me happy because oftentimes we don't get, acknowledged and people know who we are unless we're kind of doing some, some things ourselves. So shout out to you for bringing them up. Now, Avery, she put you on to some kind of textiles, different, ideas as it relates to fashion and designs and things like that. So what would you consider your line or your vision when you're developing your line? Where do you go with it?
So where I went, as far as what I was thinking of, I said retail next level, like designer, because a lot of people call themselves like clothing lines or clothing brands. No, designer brand, if you actually look that up, that's a high-end luxury retail brand. Yeah. That's where I see my brand at, Saks Fifth, Neiman Marcus up there. But, you know, I still have my different levels to the brand, like how Ralph got his. He got the purple label.
Yeah, Ralph Lauren. Yep.
So, you know, I still make it affordable to my other target audience as well. But my goal that I want to do, I feel as though it can be, like one of my sweatsuits costs $700. But I'm always looking for that great quality, though.
I see.
So I'm bringing quality, not quantity.
Good. That's good. So let's talk a little bit about, so when you say kind of high-end retail, right? What do you, if someone was trying to get an image or kind of concept or idea what your clothes looks like, who would you kind of compare yourself to? That's out already.
Out already?
Yeah. So if somebody like that haven't seen anything that you done, right, and they're like, I guess I'm trying to picture what his clothes look like. You know, what would you compare it to? Comparatively, not necessarily, my clothes are just like A, B, and C, but comparatively, you know.
What I would compare it to is like Nike and Diesel.
Okay.
That's how I compare it to.
Yeah.
My personal opinion.
Okay.
I did get opinions from other people from what they thought it was like, but that's only because they were saying like price wise though.
Okay.
So
I see. So when you say that to me, that gives me kind of like this athleisure grunge, kind of like industrial. Yeah. When you talk Diesel and maybe even D Squared, you know, A little bit. Okay, yeah, no doubt. That's probably my favorite brand. So kudos to you. So now I'm intrigued. I'm interested in seeing what you have. So make sure you send some stuff that We Talk Weekly. I put it on in the show. You know, I wear it on the show. You know, because it's all about supporting. You know, the brands. You know, the people that's around you, the people that's kind of creating and want the exposure to, need those platforms. So definitely look us up. Now we understand kind of where you're going as it relates to like your clothing and your brand and stuff. Now let's talk about this Savage Series 8. This whole situation as it relates to the show, your productions, and this event that's coming up on Saturday.
Oh yeah, not to mention too. Yeah. So like Saturday, but before that whole process, like I used to have like a team of like probably 20 brand ambassadors.
Dang. Okay.
And how that came about was, I was given, experienced models, they already knowledgeable what's going on, how to walk and everything. But my core value is to always give the unexperienced a platform as well. Yeah. A lot of people, a lot of not doing that. If I'm able to do it, they're able to shine that light. Why not?
Right.
But that's just me. I'm going to still stick to my core values. That's the reason why I have fashion shows.
Yeah.
So also, as time went on, that's when, I met Sear. Shout out to her, model coordinator. Also, she'll fill in when she need to.
Okay.
And then fast forward to probably this year, we start like really buckling down who to put on the team. Because brand ambassador, they were just coming and going.
Right.
And, we just needed a solid team who we could like really push, put them in that sense to where as though if we needed a photo shoot done, that they'll be like the front face of the brand. Also, shout out to Ty. She came through. She definitely came through this year. So
shout out to Ty. She's on. Let me tell you, she's on my top. Like, yo, you better be here at this time. So shout out to her. You need people strong like that on your team. Yeah, no doubt.
It was major stuff. Like from what I've been seeing, and I accomplished a lot of things. Like New York Fashion Week, my very first year after I released my first collection. How I got in that, and I will forever appreciate them.
Okay.
I went up to New York, and it's funny. So I went up to New York. It was just supposed to be straight networking. I went up there. I had to use the restroom. The woman was like, "Who you?" I said, "I'm a designer." Well, of course, I'm a designer. She like, "All right, come this way. You still got to pick your models for the show." I'm thinking in my head like, "All right, I ain't got to go to the bathroom no more. Forget all that. Bring me in this room."
Yeah.
I come in the room. Next thing you know, I just start having conversation with everybody, not knowing them, the people that are actually running hosting the whole event.
Yeah.
So I got picked. Got my models. Of course, I chose the people I came up with. Next day was the show. Came up there the next day. My team like, "Malcom, you're not on that list." I said, "Listen, I took a picture. I don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all better come up here too. This is New York Fashion Week.
Yeah.
I'm serious about this." I go up there. Next thing you know, they had 2 shows. They had a afternoon show. I closed that one, and they had like a nighttime show. So I appreciate them.
Yeah,
So
no
it
doubt.
just for that to happen, for like my very first couple months just being in like this industry, it was crazy for me.
Right. Fantastic. I mean, you definitely need people on your team that's holding you down, and nobody can do it by themselves, and that's something that people think they can do. Oh, I did this, but you can't do anything by yourself unless you an octopus. You can't do anything by yourself. So shout out to, and it shows your integrity in mentioning like some of the people who've been holding you down and supporting you. So that's a good look also. And so the people, some of the designers, let's talk a little bit about some of the designers who's going to be at the show.
Yeah, so we got S5. He been rocking with me ever since I first started.
Okay, what kind of line is?
So he more streetwear, urban wear, more active wear, sweatsuits that he gonna give. But I'm not sure. Everybody bringing something new this time, so I don't know what he gonna give him this time.
No doubt.
But I do know. I told not only myself but Nafis told everybody, gotta be designer. Can't be no t-shirts. Not no long sleeve shirts. We gotta give all designer vibes.
Okay.
So I don't know what he bringing this time, but it's called Struggle 5 Clothing.
Okay.
Actually, same with his siblings. Got 5 siblings.
That's funny.
So
That's dope. Yeah.
We got All American. They've been rocking with me ever since I first started. They more of a edgy street urban wear as well. We got Hibba, the crochet. We got.
That's one of the hats you got on.
That's
right?
one of the hats.
Yeah.
Definitely warm.
Yeah.
She had a sale going on. I got like 4 of them.
That thing right there.
I got 4 of them.
Oh, no doubt.
Who else in the show? I got Brianna Nicola. She doing more couture, more fashionable pieces, couture style. I heard she got some heat too. We got Plug and Co. We got Plug and Co. She got the streetwear also. She could do some couture pieces as well. Right. So I heard she gonna give him some furs on Saturday too.
I know that's right. I can't wait to see this. Yeah. No.
We got Fashion by Aaliyah. Okay. She got a couple couture pieces coming through. No doubt. We got. I hope I'm not missing nobody.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like a dynamic show. It's a show that you definitely don't want to miss, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure y'all come out. And so it sounds like a really interesting event, and it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fashion down there. What is your expectation for, this event, but just kind of moving forward, the things that you're doing moving forward?
So my expectations throughout the bigger picture, I want everybody to like really network. Okay. Like how I network is when I come into a room, I got to meet everybody that owns the building to the person that cleans this building. That's how I network. So I would want everybody to network. You got all these people standing around and you're just not going to talk to anybody. Some people are shy like that. So I feel as though you got to get out your comfort zone, especially if you got a business you want to grow. You never know who may be in the room or who may be next to you. Right. That could take it to the next level with you.
That's right.
So that's my overall goal behind this whole show.
Yeah. Where do you see yourself, especially as a young designer, and clearly you're very passionate in what you're doing. Where do you see yourself in the next 3 years with your line?
Next 3 years, I see, that's a great question. Mm-hmm. But what I have written down was being in some of the major retail stores I was telling you about, right. Bloomingdale's, Saks Fifth. We definitely pushing for that. Okay. Also, I do want a storefront, like a boutique vibe. Right. And, that would be nice because what I have my ideas for is to give it a vibe that nobody ever felt on the East Coast in a boutique store. Mm. And some boutique stores is just men's. So like Lapstone, that's 11th Chestnut. They're all men's boutique store. But I like the vibe that they give. Then you got Ubik. Right. But it's something I want to add to my storefront that will bring a lot of awareness to help individuals grow.
Yeah, shout out to Lapstone. I used them for this Visit Philly shoot that I styled. So shout out to Visit Philly too, Lapstone. They looked out for that. One question that I ask all of the Philly designers, right? Where do you see Philly fashion? Where do you see Philly fashion? Do you see it as being a major player in the industry, or do you see it as, just, people just putting things together,
I mean, right now, from what I see,
Right.
a lot of people go after the trends.
Right.
I like to stay away from them.
Okay.
But, you know, a trend can only last for so long.
Mm-hmm.
So, far as the Philly brands, from who I work with and who else I've been seeing, I
Right.
feel as though, you know, stay creating how they be creating. It's nothing wrong with trends, but, you know, find where you want to take your brand and take it to the next level.
Yeah.
I can only speak for my brand. So what works for me is I'm not just here to, you know, set trends. I'm here to like stick forever.
Yeah.
And, you know, make pieces that, you know, that could target different cultures.
Right. No doubt. No doubt. You know, I do this thing called Fashionably 5, Fashion Around the World in 5 minutes. And within that 5 minutes, I talk a few things. And a few things is, you know, one, trying to get, you know, people like yourself to answer a few questions. And one of those questions is, if you had the opportunity to any designer that you could think of sit next to you right now, and you can pick their brain, who would that be?
It'd have to be it had to be Damon John.
Okay.
That's one of my inspirations. Damon John. That's FUBU.
Yeah.
That's fashion history right there.
Yeah.
So it had to be him.
Wow. Yeah. Damn.
He one of my inspirations.
One of the sharks too.
Yeah.
No doubt. Yeah.
So
Wow. Okay.
actually, it's Nike, Diesel, and FUBU. They're my three, you know, inspirations.
That's interesting. Wow. That's great. So shout out to you, because he's been doing. He's a boss.
Yeah.
He's definitely a boss. If it was somebody that was coming up under you, a young guy, and one of his, or a young lady, right? And one of their passions was to one day be able to create a line of design. What would you tell them if they're feeling like, I don't know if I'm able to do this? What would you say to them?
Dang. And I had somebody like that before
Really?
too. It was a young woman. I put her in my second show.
Okay.
And she just, you know, she came to me, she like, Malc, I don't know if I'm going to have the money to get this, or she got discouraged. And I just like, listen, you got like a lot of time, and you know, you got to dedicate yourself to achieve your goals. I don't know how you going to do it, but I'm quite sure you can figure it out.
Right.
And I'm quite sure if you start letting your family know, I'm quite sure they'll support you behind it. And if it came down to it, let me know and see how I could like put the pieces to the puzzle, like help you if I can.
Right.
So it was like, you gotta like, I know maybe cliche to tell people that you gotta have full belief, but like, you gotta have action behind it. You gotta execute behind like whatever you thinking about to achieve your goal.
Right. I know that's right. That's good input. And a couple more questions. When you look at yourself and you say, you know, this is what I did to make it, and these are some of the things that I found, like certain loopholes, or these are kind of like little tips and tricks that I found. What's one of the biggest tips or tricks that you found out in the things that you do moving, like as you creating and designing? What's something that you found out and you got that aha moment, like, damn, like that worked, like I gotta continue doing this?
That's easy. That's great customer service. Great customer service.
Yeah. Okay, no doubt. And you finally coming back because of that.
Yeah. So customer service definitely go a long way, because like, being as though I don't have a financial establishment,
Right.
people don't know who I am. Like, if you ask a couple people what Target is, they got they got like facilities all around. But me, people gotta get to know me, or they gonna find me on the internet.
Right.
So it's either one or the other. So my customer service gotta be there every single day, regardless.
Yeah, no doubt. I love that. What would you say to someone who is, you know, I lost my train of thought, because you said something that it really sparked. That customer service thing is serious. A lot of people wouldn't have said that, and I think that's what threw me off, because that shows your wisdom most people are just really into I'm just going to make and sell. Not necessarily, thinking that, the people who will support you, your customer base are the most important people because they're the people who are going to inspire you too.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it's interesting that you said that. How can people get in contact with you, find out everything that you're doing and all that good old stuff?
Yeah. So definitely Instagram, Savage Series 8, www.savageseries8.com. And then my personal Instagram is Malcom X Savage.
If you was, you was on the Tonight Show or you on the We Talk Weekly show, and you know what I mean? And you got to sign out and give one last word to America, all the viewers, all the listeners, and all that good old stuff. What would you say to them?
I say to them, keep your head up, no matter what your current situation going on. Know you could get through it, and also enjoy your day as much as you can, because there's no way to put yourself down all the time. For what? Everybody go through something, and everybody feels though that their life is better than the others, but nobody's life better than yours. You got your own blueprint, so it's gonna work out regardless for you or not. You just gotta find out your way, stay focused, and keep growing, keep learning.
Fantastic. Daddy and mommy did you well, bro. You know what I mean? No doubt. Shout out to you. Shout out to the family. And I wish you much success. I'm seeing people, that's just your publicist. She like, yo, you forgot something. So let's go ahead. Let's finish that. What she telling you forgot here? Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so this Saturday,
right,
December 21st. Okay. It's going to be the Fierce Experience 5. Mm-hmm. We got the formal event from 6:45 to 7:45. That's a separate event. Okay. And then also after the formal event is going to be the actual show. Doors open up at 8 p.m. It will be in the same building. And the fashion show starts at 8:30 p.m. So the location for that is 1906 Rittenhouse Square at the Ethical Society building.
No doubt. Okay, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, if you already know how I put it. If you ain't there, you a square, because this is where all the cool people going to be. I'm telling you, when I tell you something, when I get excited, it's going to go down in the paint. So make sure you there, because if you ain't there, you a square, man. We are the kings and queens, so I appreciate you, King. You keep doing what you're doing. I'll definitely support you, man. But make sure you continue to follow us. We Talk Weekly. We all over, everywhere. You look as you Google as we there. Instagram, YouTube, Venmo, everywhere that you could think of, all the platforms, Comcast, Verizon. We on the radio, 106.5 FM. We international, everywhere you could find us. Daily Motion, Higher Than 7. You think about it, we there, we podcasting all over the place, man, because this is what we do. West Philly, North Philly, all Philly, man. We representing real hard because we in the building, man. It's your boy Charles Gregory, my man.
Malcom Savage, Savage Series 8. That's how we coming every time.
Make sure you follow him. Make sure you support. And you already know how it go down in the paint. Where he at? He right there. Hey. Boy. We Talk Weekly. We in the building, y'all. Hello. Good. All right, that's a wrap. My man. All right. Did he get everything?
Guys, it's your girl Classy Lady Sparkle with We Talk Weekly. Have you subscribed to our YouTube channel yet? No? You need to go now.